everyone, this is Jet and today's tutorial is how to make a notebook cover. Now this notebook cover is something that I will be using for my college classes. I find it's really convenient because a lot of the times in my classes we might not get a whole desk, might get like a little sliver of a desk or nothing at all. So I like something that makes it really easy for me to hold my notebook without being as bulky as a binder. So this is what it's going to look like. Sans the design, because I'm not going to show you guys how to make the design. You can decorate it any way you want. On the back side it opens with Velcro, and then on the inside we have a folder that is good for you know, loose papers, worksheets that you get in your class. And then on this side you have your notebook and your pen, and so you can kind of take notes like this. It's really good for people with who are left-handed. Actually, I see a lot of people in my college classes using vertical ring notebooks, so this is kind of common there. Oh yeah, so you will need a vertical ring notebook. That is one important factor in this. You might be able to make this with a side ring notebook, but I really do prefer the vertical ringed ones. You can find them at Office Max. I did not see them at Walmart, and Office Max is the only other place I checked. So you can definitely get them there. We have our little pin caddy here. And yeah, that's about it. So I will show you how to make this. Another great thing about this is when your notebook runs out, you can pull it out and exchange it for a different one. And then it's really great for just carrying to class. Keep your everything you're carrying kind of light. Alright, so let's see how to make it. Alright, start off by making a sheet of duct tape that is 11.5 by 20 inches. Okay, now you're going to make a sheet of duct tape that is 11 inches by 9 inches. Alright, now we're going to make another sheet of duct tape that is 9 inches by 4 inches. Optionally, you could get cardstock to embed inside this sheet of duct tape. I wanted it to be just a little extra stiff, but this step is optional. Now we're going to want to line the top of both of these. So just cut a strip of duct tape 9 inches long, slice that in half, and line one side of this and one side of this. Now we're going to want to attach these to the main piece. So cut another 9-inch strip of duct tape, and we're going to use that to seal the bottom. Take your shorter piece and place the duct tape on it, like that, and then place it on the very corner of your main piece. So that you'll be able to flip it up and down like this. Now we're going to have to be very careful in the placing of this. If you have your notebook already, you might want to place the notebook down, and then fold this over to see where it needs to line up, because you're going to need to leave a little bit of space to make up for the width. Okay, so it looks to me like I'm going to need to leave 3/4 of an inch space between this sheet and this. Or actually a 1/2 inch. So just like when you added this piece, flip this over and attach the duct tape. Perfect. Now we're going to want to attach the insides. For that, you'll need to cut out a strip of duct tape that is as long as this, so about 11 inches long. So just to be safe, you might want to cut, when you cut this in half, make one of the strips just the tiniest bit thicker. So first take your thin strip, and along this edge where this big piece is, the outer edge I should say, place this strip down starting at not the very top of the main piece, but the top of this extra fold. Just like that. Now for this one, you're going to have to trim it just a little bit. Start by placing it down and making a mark where this flap starts. So make a mark right here. Try not to cut through because you might cut through the whole thing, but just make a slight mark with your knife so that you'll know where to cut. Now peel this back off, whoops, and cut it there. Like that. And now place it down. Now take this piece and place it down starting at the top of the bigger folder. At this point, you'll probably be able to enter your notebook into this pocket. Let's go ahead and test that out. So when you're doing that, your notebook, which should have the rings on top, should have these two front pages. They're kind of like the cover and the back out of cardboard. So just hold those separately. Let the paper fall forward. And slip it into the hole and slowly insert it. Now, just like with card pockets sometimes, it might show resistance at the very bottom inch because of the lining at the bottom. So if it does that, just place your hand in to open it up a little more. And wiggle the rest down. And you can feel at the very bottom if it's in all the way. Now it is in all the way. And you'll notice that the rings stick out from the top. That is supposed to happen. That makes it easier for it to fold. So when you've made sure that your notebook can fit in, you can go ahead and take it out. because we'll need it out to finish the rest of the folder. We're going to need to line the bottoms and the sides. Okay, so let's start with lining the sides. Go ahead and cut a strip of duct tape that is as long as your folder. So when you've placed the sticky part on, cut a slit in the lining right where the folder part would start and fold that over first. And then fold over the rest. And then on the other side, you won't have to worry about that. Just go ahead and add it. Now for the last part, we'll have to line the long side. So for that, of course, you're going to need to get a strip of duct tape that is as long as this entire piece is long. Slice that in half and just line. Okay, so at this point, go ahead and put the notebook in and see for yourself how it looks. So pretty much when it's not in use, it'll be folded over like that. And then when it is in use, you fold it back like that and can use your notebook. Now this next step is optional. I'm going to add in a pen holder right here. For this, you will need the exact pen that you use because as you can see, here's an example. A lot of pens vary in width. So you're really going to want to make this for the exact width of your preferred style of pen. Now, not to stray from duct tape too much, but I really recommend these for studying, for taking notes, I mean. They have multiple kinds of ink. You got pink, purple, green, and blue. And what I do is, this is really great in like really note-heavy classes, like science classes. I'll alternate colors between paragraphs, or I'll write definitions in one color, you know, like scientific equations in another color. This is a really good tool for school. So I'm going to make a little holder right here for this pen. Now when making a pen holder, you're going to want to account for the height and the thickness of the pen and make a sheet of duct tape that will go around the front and the sides. So let's get started on that. Now I'm going to cut the duct tape so it is, I'm going to sort of eyeball the width of the pen on each side. So I think that cutting it right here should be the right width. So you see, you got a little bit of space on each side of the pen. So if I was going to do it with this pen, I'd only need to cut it to right an inch. But since this pen's so thick, I need extra. Go ahead and save the scrap. You might need it. Now cut out another strip of duct tape that is an inch longer than the one you just cut. Flip this one so that it's sticky side up. And lay this on top of it. And you'll want to get a little piece of duct tape to line the top. Oh hey, I'll use this scrap that I just cut. So So when you have this laid out like that, you're going to want to cut 4 slits in it. First on each corner, like that. And then separate this into thirds. This is going to be like your centerpiece where your pin will lay. Now, if you have a much thinner pin, you'll only really need to cut the side pieces. It's not going to make that much of a difference because there won't be a lot of height to your pen. But since mine's so thick, I cut it into pieces so that it'll lay out better. So on your notebook, okay, maybe I will turn this upside down so you guys can see it better. I'm going to be placing it right there. So take your pen and actually put it onto what's going to be your pin holder. Now see how mine sticks out too far on the bottom? I'm going to want to pull it back. Make sure that it's not in the way of any of the sticky part. But of course it'll slide around and mess you up. All right. Might want to bend it around your pen a little bit like that. And just carefully place it on. Just like that. Now you can adjust it once it's placed down. And now just take these folds and one at a time, starting from the outside, working inward. Place it down. And now you have a pen holder. Now there's only one thing you have to do to finish your notepad, and that is add some closures. Now, of course, you don't even need to add closures if you don't want to, but if you're going to be carrying this around on its own at all, you'll probably want to. Now, you'll notice we have a little bit of extra on the side. We're just going to fold that over, and you guys know I like to use magnets, but to save time, I'm just going to use Velcro. Pretty simple to attach. Just attach it to this piece first and fold over and attach to that. And that's it. Now, these might pull up a bit on the sides at first. So what you'll want to do is overnight just set a book on top, maybe one of your new textbooks, and that should flatten it out so that this folds perfectly. And then you'll be able to carry it around like this, and then while you're using it, it should be open like this, and you can grab your pen and just go ahead and take your notes. And that's it. Thank you for and you also have this side to put loose papers in. Okay, and that's it. Thank you for watching.